Om Sadashivasamārambhām Vyāsaśaṅkaramadhyamām Asmadācārya-paryantām Vande Guruparamparaṁ Shrutismriti-purāṇānaṁ Ālayam Karuణālayam Namāmi Bhagavatpādam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankarācāryam Keshavam Bādarayanam Sutra Bhāsha Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punaha Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. So this particular chapter is about gunas. So Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga, or how gunas determine the person's behavior and what sort of guna is good and what sort of guna is to be avoided is been discussed elaborately here. So in the previous class we went through the effect of the three types of gunas in a person. That means when satvikam is high, or how a person is satvikam, and a rajasic person and a tamasic person. So, and how these gunas operate on the person. So we have a fairly decent idea about these gunas, and all of us has got these three gunas at some point of time. So there is not a single person in this universe who can say that I do not have this guna or that guna, because it is something which is already made. So you cannot avoid it. So the only way you can do is to manage it. So there are methods by which one can elevate the sattvika guna, which is recommended to be sattvikam, because sattvikam leads you to be alert, and it helps you to develop the positive attitude required to pursue this particular jnana marga. The rajasic activity will take you more towards the activity oriented, the karma or rituals, etc. that will take you there, because it is also not bad in a way, because it is, some people want rajasic activity more than sattvic activity. So sattvikam is more to do with mental preparation. So study of shastram, recollection, those kind of things, understanding the meaning of what is said there, meditation, contemplation, they are all sattvikam. The rajasic activities is more predominantly towards activity oriented. That means the person is more interested in doing things. It can be for good things. It can be for constructing a temple, or serving in the temple, writing books of account for the temple, serving food at the temple, or it can be helping other people, donating food. All these are all also good things, but they are rajasic, because rajasic activity binds you more than sattvic. Especially in this current scenario, you can imagine like a person is used to traveling to India or to other place 6 months in a year. So imagine that you have a pilgrimage tour every year you go. So you spend 6 months in India and 6 months in another country. And now because of the restriction currently happening, you're not able to go anywhere. So the person is not sattvic also, not interested in sattvikam. Because how long will I be teaching, studying, etc. I want to go out somewhere. I want to go and see temples. I want to visit my people, do some pujas, etc. in other countries. Kshetranam I want to go. You cannot go. So what happens to the person? The person is very restless, very agitated, and very, very sometimes getting bored as well. So this is what rajasic activity does to you. So if you're used to the kind of activity, and non-activity sometimes can bore you. So you want something happening all the time. Right? So that's why Bhagavan Krishna says here that every one of us has got these gunas at various levels. But having developing the Satvikam Gunam actually makes you more calmer and more focused. It helps in the long run to be staying focused and not getting too much diverted by other things. That's why Satvikam is recommended and Rajasikam is to some extent less recommended, and Tamasic Guna is not to be encouraged that much. So Tamasikam is you have to do it because when you're required to sleep, you have to do. There's nothing like this. But some people have a habit of just being lazy. Tamasikam. Tamasikam means I just want to retire. So a common thing is they'll say, I just want to retire everything and then do what? Said, I don't know. So they are not decided what they want to do. So you have to retire into something. Correct. So you should either have something to retire into so that you will be doing something busy. But if you do not have any plan at all, and suddenly you just desire to retire one day because you have had enough money, you are well settled now, and then you feel that enough is enough. I just want to quit working, and then you just next day you don't go to the office or you don't do anything. So what will the status of the person? Because the person is not Sattvic. Right? So Sattvikam is not there anymore. And because the person is not used to studying Shastra, he is not used to spending time on reading, contemplation, meditation, etc. The whole life he has been running around, to get successful, more successful. Suddenly, when you have this, vacuum, there's nothing there. Then you feel that morning when you wake up, you don't know what to do because everybody is busy. Everybody is going to the office, and you are now sitting in the home doing what to do. Then you try to figure out or trying to find out how you can be busy. So again, what happens is you again get into a cyclical mode of trying to be busy because you want to be now doing something. So, and if you cannot do anything, then you tend to relax. So you'll have you prepare yourself, cook food, you just watch TV, you go for a walk, you sleep. That becomes a lifestyle. And once you like that lifestyle, if then it becomes a habit. So that's why Krishna says here that all the three things are binding in some way or the other. Satvikam also is a binding, because imagine that if you're used to meditation every day, or if you're used to particular parayanam or anything you do every day, and if you're not able to do that day, particular thing, then you feel very restless because you don't know what to do. I have not done my study today. I haven't taught anything today. So a person should be able to be flexible. See, those activities or this knowledge should not affect the person's being. The person should still be independent of what it is. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't affect me anything. So such is the level of the mind has to be developed at that level. So Satvikam also binds, Rajasic also binds, Tamasic also binds. So now, after discussing this, obviously the next question is, what happens to the person who is Rajasic, who is the Sattvic? So when Sattvic Guna is increased, and when he passes away without gaining jnana. See, Sattvikam does not mean that you have to be jnani. Okay? So Sattvikam does not mean that you have to be a wise person. You can be a nice person. So you can be a nice person, you can chant, you can do rituals, and you can be called Sattvika person. But you may not be a wise person. So here it doesn't talk about a wise person. Here it talks about a person who is Satvikam in nature, and he's highly committed to studies. He's highly committed to all these spiritual activities, oriented. So what happens to that is what is discussed here. Let's look at the verse and then we'll go to the meaning of that. Yada sattve prabuddhetu, yada sattve prabuddhetu, pralayam yati dehabrit, Pralayam yati dehabrit yada sattve pravurdhetu pralayam yati dehabrit tadotamavidham lokan amalan pradipadhyate sadha yada sattve pravurdhetu pralayam yati dehabrit tadotamavidham lokan amalan pradipadhyate. So when yadha, so when pravurdhe sattve, so when the sattva guna is increased, so pravurdhe means increasing. So when the sattva guna is increasing or increased, in what? In the deha brit. So deha means body and the brit means the holder of the body or the owner of the body or the one who obtains in the body. So when the sattva guna is increased, so sattva guna is not something the body increases. Sattva guna is actually a quality inside you which rises. So there is the intellect or the buddhi which is getting more sattvic. See, the consciousness is not affected by all the sattva guna, etc. Okay, very, very clear. So the atma, the consciousness, is not affected by sattva guna, rajo guna, tamo guna. It is beyond the three gunas. It is the intellect or the buddhi, which is the one, has got these three gunas. So in the afternoon class, in the class also I told you that how the mind is the one which is which comes in the first. So the mind is the one which gets illumined first, and only then objects come into existence. So the mind cannot recognize the object. The mind is not, the buddhi is not arising, then the object cannot be recognized. Right? So for that, sattva guna has to rise. So sattva guna, pravurdhe means the particular sattva guna is increasing. Okay, so it's increasing in the mind. So the mind gets charged, supercharged by sattva guna. Okay, then so pralayam yati. So pralayam means what? When the pralaya happens. So pralayam means like it is death. So layaha means sleep. Layaha means sleep. Pralaya means death. And maha pralaya means dissolution. When all the jivas finally are, they finally disappear. Or everybody, all the jivas die. So it means what? Everybody will come and go at their own time. So there is whole cycle of birth and death going on. So at every point of time, somebody will go, another person will be born. So this continues. So every time we go to sleep, we are in laya. And we can also be in pralaya depending upon our prarabdha karma. Because we do not know we are going to wake next day. Everybody has got a view that we are going to wake up next day. All of us. We all have a view that tomorrow we'll do this one. Tomorrow I got production problem. I have to solve this problem. I have to repair this machinery. I have to do this. I have to do that. So we all have our own things lined up for next, even forget about tomorrow. I got for next 6 months also activity will be there. If you've got a new house, you've got to paint the house, do the furniture, do this, do that, fix all the things are there. Project is fully there. But we never have a guarantee about tomorrow. Right? That's what it says here. There, when sattva guna rises and if at all person happens, if at all, the person happens to die. So then pralayam yati. So pralayam yati means that person, yati means this is a travel. So the person goes or he dies. And from the deha brit. Then tada uttama vidham. See the word tadottama vidham is tada, means therefore, then that time. Uttama vidhan means what? Person of the highest you can say, or the pratama. So in Satvika Guna also, a lot of people at different levels. See, everybody is not the same level as Satvikam. Some people have got more Satvikam, some people have less Satvikam, some people have just started Satvikam. Correct. So some people are highly Satvik. So there are also category of Satvikam also in this. And the amount of, the density, you can say. Somebody is very highly Satvik, all the time will be Satvikam. So such a person is called Uttama Satvikam. So Uttama Vidham means the one who knows the highest. Correct? Then at that time, what happens? See, Satvikam will be predominating at the time of death. Because a person who is living a life of Satvika, systematically, like doing prayer, puja, abhishekam, sandhya vandanam, nitya anushtanam, shastram padikradha, notes there, all the things he's doing, right? And the person is committed to the pursuit of study of all these things. Okay. And so he's always Satvika. So accepting the days, the time when he cannot do anything, he's very tired. See, our physical body also cannot be Satvika all the time. Because why do we have? Because the mind goes through a lot of changes. The whole day we are working. So the mind goes through all the changes. So vikaram and avikaram. So modification happens. So the mind also gets tired. Whole day if you keep listening Brahman, Atma, Atma, Brahman, consciousness, manifested consciousness, all these things. Then when you go at night also sometimes you feel tired, or even halfway you tired. So what it says here, the Satvikam, when it is predominantly high and the person consistently at that level every day maintaining that level of study, then when the person passes away, his mind will be more Satvikam oriented. Like he will not have that kind of thoughts or negative thoughts or less number of thoughts will strike his mind. Because that is his routine. Correct? So if you have a fixed routine every day that you spend so many hours, doing this, doing that, studying, etc., and it has become a lifestyle for you. So come what may, you will do that particular thing every day. Then when a person dies at that time, what will you remember? You remember only that, or you will remember most of the things. Correct. And it is traditionally said that when a person leaves the physical body, we offer the Ganga Jal, the water in the in the mouth. So Ganga Jal, if you see every Indian has got a Ganga Jal in his house. So wherever they go, they will have a small Ganga Jal which is unopened. So they seal it and give it. It will be in the puja room somewhere. The Aitikam behind it is like, once something happens like this, then it is broken and then the person's, mouth is open and they offer Ganga Jal at the final. So what it's supposed to do is the Ganga Jal is supposed to purify the Vedam Shastra, at least at the time itself, he'll get purified. Okay, this is Aitikam. This is not, people do it, I don't know about it. But I know I got it at home. In India, in Bombay, I got it. I asked my mother, why do you have this? She said, So what do you do? I said, you break it and you can, pour it in the mouth of it. I said, okay. Another thing also said is like when the person is about to depart, then they're supposed to utter the word Narayana in the ear of the person. That is, the person says, Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. So, that is what Narasya Ayanamiti Narayana. That means every human being, Narasya means every human being, Ayana means destination, it is Narayana. So, every person's ultimate abode is Narayana. Correct? So, the person is actually about to go away. He is not fully dead yet. That is so they'll call nearby. Everybody come here. Everybody is Tamil here. So I can take Tamil also. So they all come. And when everybody comes, he talks about so many things, he blabbers, and his eyes are closed. So at that time, the person offers, pours water, etc. Somebody plays some tape. Then the other person says, Narayana, say like this. Then the person wakes up suddenly. See, and the Narayan Iyer, Narayan Iyer, he owes me $10,000. Our Tandringa wine drunk. Because the word Narayana strikes to him immediately. This is a person who is not Satvik, okay? A person who is not Satvik, he's been thinking only about Narayana Iyer all day, that this person has not been paying me for so long. When the word Narayana comes into his ear, he wakes up. I mean, he doesn't wake up from the bed. His eyes lit up. Saying, see, Narayana Iyer is somebody there. What means he has to give me some money. So what it means, our time, whenever you go, Antakale cha mameva smarin muktva kalevaram. In chapter 8, we're seeing this, correct? So yam yam yati smaran bhavam, correct? So whatever is at the time of death, that thought only will appear to will be there. So throughout the lifestyle, you should be having that thought, or should be having the consistent thought. Then only that thought will come at that time. So if you study Vishnu Sahasranam daily for so many years, or Rudram for so many years, regularly, or anything you chant, that particular thing will come to you automatically. You will keep chanting irrespective of whether you like it or not. Shopping center mandra varum. At night also, sometimes it will come and disturb you because Rudram modon chamaka modon mandala. I'm pretty sure Gopalji will know about it. If you are into this kind of activity, right, suddenly energetic when you go to sleep, I get this sometimes. It's not only you. Sometimes I don't sleep. Some text will be running. Some Upanishad will be running there. I mean, I'll be lying on the bed. I know that I'm actually not sleeping, but the mind is working on something or the other because whole day you're reading something or chanting something or teaching something, and something strikes you. Some connection comes. So what it says here is that when this particular sattvic rises, correct? So yada pralayam yati, means then he goes to which? He goes to Amala Lokan. So Amala Lokan means, see, Amalam means, Malam means purity. Okay, and Amalam means, Malam means impurity, and Amalam means purity. Okay, so Malam means dirt, and Amala Lokan means he goes to that lokam, there is no impurity. Samala Loka. So what is a Loka? He will go to Indra Loka, he will go to some Swarga Loka, somewhere is, you go to Pitru Loka also, where there is there's no problem at all. I mean, this is actually less contaminated than what it is. So what it says here is the person who is consistently doing all these activities, studying, etc., without understanding why he is doing, but it is still Satvika Guna. For such a person, if he is left halfway, he shall go to a better Loka. Okay. He goes to the world of the people who know the highest, called Uttama Vidhan Lokan Pratipadyate. So these are the gods like Indra, where they go to Indra Loka. So with Indra Loka, what do you do? Because you attain a lot of punyam. So whole of the life you have been doing teaching, chanting, etc. And it's a karma for you. Right? So all the Vadyas, etc., they do karma rituals, etc., they do, right? Suddenly they will definitely get punya loka. Definitely punya bhava. But if you understand that you are not a human body, you are not a physical body, you are Atma, the consciousness, then you don't go to any loka at all. Because what is the purpose of going to loka? You're not there to go to enjoy anything. Because enjoyment is already, you have said that I don't need an enjoyment because I'm not a physical body. So you do not need to go anywhere. You're not worried about going anywhere. You're just happy where you are and you forget that concept. But this is for the people who are still not realized yet. But they are on the path of the study. They are studying. And within halfway, they just disappear. See, Bhagavan will tell you, na? See, everybody becomes Jivan Mukta, everybody becomes, then the whole Srishti will be brought forward. Right? Then who will live for 420,000 years? But the Yuga is already there. It has to complete the cycle, correct? So there will be a staggered person only, they'll go to, Indra Loka. You can't go just like that. So some people will die just like that without giving anything. So it is like, the coronavirus thing. If you want to go to India or something, you have to put an application. Hundreds of people will put application. Everybody wants to go. But only 1%, 2% will be allowed to go, because it is not in your hand whether you want to go or not. It is in the government's hand. Because everybody goes to, say, a free country, then it's a problem. So what do? You suffer there only. You will be here. Don't go anywhere. Study Shastram. Do homework. That's what happens. So the same way also, the Amara Lokan talk about here is for the people who are always Satvikam. Only those people who put the effort, only those people can go there. Not everybody can go there. So there are different lokas for different people. Right. So Satvika Guna people go there. They go to Indra Loka, and Indra actually entertains you. He keeps you busy. You're well fed. You're taken care of. Enjoying for some time. Then all your punyams are over now. Satvikam is already over, because you cannot be Satvikam there. I'm going to break it down. Indra Loka is Bhoga Loka, enjoyment. So you just relax, look at dance, listen to the music, and all the colorful things happening in the lokas, etc. Enjoyment is very good there. After that, once Satvikam disappears, correct? Satvikam disappears, then you have to come down to Bhul Loka again. So again, you send you down. So again, you start from there. So the cycle continues. So again, you become Satvikam. Again, you will die. Again, you will go to this Loka. Again, you will come back. So this is what it says here as Yada Sattve Praurdetu Pralayam Yati Dehabrit. So Tada Uttama Vidhan Lokan Amalan Pratipadyate. So these people definitely go to better lokas. But there's also a possibility that definitely they will come back. So we have seen the state of the person who is Satvikam. So definitely there are benefits. So one should be Satvikam. There's nothing wrong about it. Now let us look at what happens to the Rajasic person. Rajasi pralayam gatva. Rajasi pralayam gatva. Karma sangishu jayate. Karma sangishu jayate. Rajasi pralayam gatva. Karma sangishu jayate. Tata pralinastamasi. Tata pralinastamasi. Mudayo nishu jayate. Tata pralinastamasi. Mudayo nishu jayate. So Rajasi pravardhe. So when Rajasi means, or when Rajasi is increasing, or when Rajas Guna is predominant. So activity oriented power. Auditor. Auditor. So in Malayalam we say auditor, right? Auditor. So auditor is auditor. So he is running. So when Rajas is predominant, it means the person is running all the time, busy. Don't ask me, I'm busy. I got this, I got that, I got this. So he's always got programs. You just can't catch me. Catch me if you can. So you are busy. So he's Rajasic very predominant. So what happens? So pralayam gatva. So when the person he also dies. See, everybody will die. Satvikam person also will die. Rajasic person also will die. So he talks about this second person, not a person. So when he dies, what does it do? He is those people who are committed to karma sangishu. They are doing karma all the time. So karmangal. Karmangal all rituals. They do all pujas, elaborate rituals they will do. So busy in doing karmas. Right. So it's when it says karma sangishu means they are the people who are doing various karmas for achieving various ends. So doing Satyanarayana puja, doing that puja, doing this puja, Shanti puja, Anda puja, all sorts of things they do. So they do for what? For the benefit of their own progeny, their own wealth, their own growth, for their own health, all these things. So it also includes latest, all surgery also included. So you don't have to do karma. You can go and lie down on the bed and you can make yourself attractive. Cosmetic surgery also is karma only. So you want to look good, right? So you update, all these things. So I'm just example. What I'm trying to tell you is karma sanjishu. Means all the people who are associated karma sangaha. So karma sangam means what their connection is karma. They do not want to do anything else. So because they are karma, what does karma make you do? Karma means what? Action, correct? And for doing karma, what do you need? You need energy, correct? For studying Shastram, you don't need energy. You need steadiness in the mind. You can sit in one place, you can take a book and just keep. If you know the text, you can read and you can understand everything, you can listen also. But with rajasic activity, you'll have to be doing activity. You'll have to be busy. That's why when karma does, it actually brings association with different things. It binds you. Karma sangha. So karma sangishu, when I say, those people who are committed to doing karmas, they are born, jayate. So they are born again. Okay. So he is also born. Satvikam also is born, but he's got a longer stay. He's got a long stay visa. For 5 years, if you got a 10-year visa, you don't have to come for 10 years. You can stay there. After 10-year visa is over, he says you go back. You can extend it. No stay visa something, no further stay something. But in this case, there's no visa extended. So you go, they are born. So 13th day they are born. See, we have 13-day karma, right? 13-day rituals. And every day we have rituals. So when the Antyesh is done, when the final, the cremation is done, at that time the body knows that it is leaving all the people. But you do not know, I do not know. The body also does not, but somehow it knows, the soul knows that I left everybody and it wants to re-enter that particular connection again. That is why the mantras are chanted, correct? So and for that particular body to travel to a Pitraloka, it cannot go in the same form it was there. It has to be given a form, correct? Some form it is given. So the pindam, etc. We offer pindam, right? Every day we offer some pindam, etc. And so those things are actually offered because the form actually takes those things, like it doesn't like it, because it is tasteless. Sometimes sadham food is taste. There's no taste there. Uppu irukadu, unna irukadu, all these things are not there. So in the karma talks is there, detail is there. We don't have to talk about it. I just give example. So every day that food is given, it actually eaten by the preda, and it becomes a form which is suitable for transporting to a particular world. Then the 13th day, it actually has gone already. So it has actually taken a form in some other manner. Is ready already. That means his future birth is determined already. But we do not know, and they also don't know. That's why we offer Pitru Shardam. See, why do we offer Pitru Shardam? Because they are living in some other loka, in some other form. You do not see them. Right? But we know that they are living in some other place, and that's why we offer Pitru Shardam. So we offer, water, rice, everything we offer, correct? Vadaka, we offer that. So why? Because there are people are living in that loka in some other place. So they are born, jayate. Okay. Tatha, so too. So when tamasi pravirde, when tamasi is very predominant, sorry, here, right, he talks about tamas, rajas or tamas. He talks about both. So rajasic people, tamasic people go to only one location. So there's no distinction between rajasic and tamasic. So one can say, if at all I'm going to go again born, why should I do activity? I can lie down and do this. It's your choice. See, it's also difficult to lie down for a long time. Very, difficult, right? See, if you just want to say sit idle, how long will you sit idle? You cannot. You have to get up also. So there's action involved there. That's why rajasic and tamasic is combined together here. So when Rajasic Pravritti is increased, having died, the person is committed to Karma Sangishu, he is born. Right? So too Tamasi Pravritti. So the Tamasi Pravritti means the people who are already having Tamasic Guna more. Then Pralinaha means the one who died in that mode. What do? They are born in Muda Yonishu. So they are born in the womb of the mother or in the womb of next Janma who do not have Vivekam at all. So they are also born as human beings. But they are born in a family of people who do not have discriminative ability. So Nanam Irken I also was born, I am also born like this. So neither the parents have inclination to study Shastram and they are not interested. Neither the children also follow, because the children follow what the parents follow. See, our association is like this. That is, if you have got a samskaram at home, right? If you really follow the discipline of having a disciplined life, your children don't neglect it. They know about it. They may not follow 100% what you are doing, but they know there's actually an automatic, some sort of a level. They know what is not acceptable. They won't tell you. But whenever they come across this, that line will tell them that, oh, this is not acceptable in my house, in the family. So sometimes, it keeps challenging their decision, right? Always it keeps challenging. It is not that they want to cross, but their desire is so strong that they are sometimes able to cross that. So the impact will be lesser. Okay, what I'm saying? The impact will be lesser. So that's why he says here, those people who are born, they are born in Muda Yonishu. The people, they get born in people who do not have discriminative ability. So from this we understand what? That one guna is predominant over the other two. So cultivating values is important. So what is cultivating the right values is important. So it's always better to cultivate sattvic activity more and reduce rajasic and tamasic slowly. So tamasic you should not avoid, because tamasic is natural tamasic. See, at night if you want to go to sleep, it is tamasic nature. It is something which the Bhagavan is already there. So it's okay. But sleeping for 11 hours a day, 12 hours a day, it is not also okay. Because sometimes what people do, I don't have any activity. I don't have any activity. What am I going to do about it? What will I get up in the morning and do? So let me lie down. So you go to sleep at 9:30, 10, watch a Netflix movie till 12:31, something like this. And then you almost lie down there, you already slept there. The part wouldn't at least then somebody comes and tells, oh, why are you sleeping here? Go upstairs. They put the light off, then you go upstairs. Because you slept till 12:30, 1 o'clock away, you don't want to wake up at 7 o'clock, because your body clock will not let you wake up also. You feel very tired and lethargic. Already you are Tamasic driven person. I mean, you already have that inclination. Then the 7 becomes the 9 o'clock, the 9:30, 10. Then after that you wake up, you want to have a coffee or something like this. Then 12:30 you start to feel hungry now, 11:30 or so. After 11, 12 o'clock, 12:30 you just take bath. Without taking bath, you eat food there. Then 3:30 so lifestyle like this. See, current people are nocturnal. See, I tell you, including my own son also, they are all nocturnal people. So that is, they like to stay awake at night and and do sleep at daytime. So we are ulta. So we like to be awake at daytime and sleep at normal time. But so you will see them coming at 2:30, 1 o'clock, 1:30. It's not because they are rajasic, they need to be having that. So that subsequently the body requires rest, correct? So every day you can't go to at 1:30, sleep and wake up at 5 o'clock. It's not possible. One day you'll do, 2 days you'll do, 3 days you'll do. Fourth day the body will say, no, it's not okay. So automatically 9:30 ತೂಕೊಂಡು class ತೂಕೊಂಡು ಮಧ್ಯಾಹ್ನ ತುಂಗಳು ರಾತ್ರಿ because that's the nature of the body. That's how it demands. Is it you need to have the sleep, you sleep, but don't overdo it. Right? So it's better to have sattva guna more than rajasic and tamasic guna. That's what it says here. Then he talks about from verse 16 to 18. He talks about the result of the three other gunas. The result. So what happens? What are the benefits of having these gunas? Karmana sukritasyahu. Karmana sukritasyahu. Satvik nirmalam phalam. Satvik nirmalam phalam. Karmana sukritasyahu. Satvik nirmalam phalam. Rajastastu phalam dukkam. Rajasastu phalam dukkam. Ajnanam tamasah phalam. Ajnanam tamasah phalam. So, sukritasya ahuhu. So, sukritasya ahu means they say, or aha, they say, it means said. Ahuhu means they say, or the people say, that sukrit asya or sukritasya karmanaha means good deeds or good actions done. So sukrita means, kritam means do, and sukritam means good action. So sukritasya, sukritam asya means you do good action, and it is, they say, rahuhu, satvikam nirmalam phalam. So satvikam is developed or connected to sattva guna, and the phalam or the result is nirmalam. So satvikam doesn't have any impurities because the mind is very clear. So it doesn't have any impurities. So when you are studying something, Shastra, Bhagavad Gita, etc., system it regularly, other thoughts will not come to you. Is it right? At a particular moment you are studying, other thought will not enter because the mind is busy with that. If you take the mind off, let us say the TV going on when you are, supposing you are in your room, and there's a TV also going in the background. So, that's part of Bhagavad Gita, I am chanting, I am teaching, everything going on. In the kadal of the point. Then other here, this serial is going on. So eye contact is going on there. Okay. So the TV is going on there. And to this ear, Bhagavad Gita is going there. So sometimes immediately this shuts off. Then you go there immediately. See, now I can see you, so I can't tell you. So, if you're on phone, I can't tell you because I do not know. So, but I'm sure that you're not doing that. But but when you do multitasking, say sometimes people will say, they'll keep looking up and down. They either look in the watch or look at the TV or something will be there. Something interesting is going on there. So when you do this, then at that moment the mind is actually moving from satvikam to something else. But he says whenever people say that your mind is connected to satvikam, or when your satvikam guna rises, you are not in any other sphere. You are not doing anything else other than only listening and writing notes or just listening to what is being said there. At that time, no other thought should enter or no other thought will enter. For that particular kshanam, the moment your mind goes somewhere else, other thought is ready to come in. They are waiting there for to come. That's why he says here it's better to have satvikam. So karmanas sukritasyahu satvikam nirmalam phalam. Then rajasaha tu phalam. So when you have rajas, but if you have rajasic gunas, so what does rajasic guna do? The phalam is dukkam. Dukkam means pain. So imagine that you are running around all full day. I've been running. See, I'm tired. What? Why tired? I've been running the whole day. I've been out on the field the whole day. I've been just here, going here and there. and suddenly my body is aching now, and I just want to relax. So it is also pain, dukkam. Now this dukkam is what is something which you wanted. You didn't want it in the first place, but the result is something guaranteed because of the physical activity. You cannot avoid it. So you should know how much you should do and how much you should restrict also. So, but he says always rajasic activity, because it's activity oriented, it is karma oriented, it will bring you dukkam, it will bring you pain. And what does tamas do? Tamas result is ignorance, because you don't know what is happening there. Somebody is teaching something, I don't know. Something happening in another loka, I don't know. Because he's already busy, he's steeped in ignorance. See, animals are steeped in ignorance, correct? Because tamas is their predominant quality. They always, you look at the animals, they like to sleep a lot. They are not awake, they are not active all the time. They are active because, especially, if you look at all the lion, etc., they are active only for some time, in the whole day. So I used to be in Africa, I see all these animals, I've seen safaris, etc. I say, why are they sleeping all the time? Because whenever you go in the morning, 7 o'clock, you go for safari in the morning, till 8 o'clock, you keep running around, they'll still be there. They'll just be there. So we'll go everywhere and come back to see, hopefully, that they will move something and something is spotted. They will get up, yawn, walk here and there, again go to another place and sit there. Again. So by the time the kombi, the van goes around and comes back, it has moved only about a couple of meters to the right, and it has gone to another female and sat there next. Because they are active only for about 3 to 4 hours a day. So they start moving around only after 11:30, 12, because that's the time they're active. The whole night, the daytime, they'll be sleeping there. So till 11 o'clock, 11:30, when they decide to go move about it, that's the time you'll see them active, very busy. For 2, 3, 4 hours, they'll be busy there. 2:33, they'll be very busy. After that, again, when they'll again go back. So the tamasic in nature. Predominantly, their activity is all relaxed in nature. They always like to relax because their body is like this. Their body demands a lot of sleep, rest is required. Because they lack self-consciousness. They do not have anything called consciousness. They cannot interrogate and say, why I am lazy. See, even tamasic person also, sometimes he says, he has got a question. I know I am lazy. Because he keeps putting on weight. He says, I know I am very lazy now. But so he can at least ask. Animals will not even ask. He said, am I lazy? No. It doesn't have intellect to ask. It will just be there. So what they are saying here is compared to an animal lifestyle. An animal lifestyle is very, very tamasic in nature, and a person should not become that much. So if he becomes like this, then he says it will bring you pain to come. So karmanas sukritasyahuhu satvikam nirmalam phalam. Rajasastu phalam dukkam ajnanam tamasah phalam. Okay. See, what it says here is, Rajas, why it is painful? Because when you do Rajas, when you do activity, an activity can bring you punyam or papam. Both can bring. You cannot say that my activity is always punyam oriented. There's no guarantee about it. Every activity you do will have a mixture of punyam and papam. That is the nature of karma. Karma will be in such a way that there will be always punyam and papam will come in installments. Some days you will be always doing all good karmas. And there will be some karma which you do, which will be nature of, it will not be ethical, it will not be correct, or something you have missed out, not doing correctly or not. See, karma has got a lot of restrictions. You have to do it properly. And it is fraught with all sort of errors. So unless a person does it systematically, regularly, understanding what he's doing, why he's doing, and he is well versed in all the aspects of karma kanda, it is not possible for a person to do all of them systematically. So there's always some errors are going to creep in there. And when it creeps in, it is actually some papa. It is going to bring you some sort of, dukkam later on. That's why he says here that rajasic activity brings you dukkha phalam. So dukkha phalam means like it is not immediate. Just like drishta phalam, adrishta phalam, also dukkam adrishtam and drishtam also there. Immediate papa will be there, you'll know about it. But there will be something which is stored, which will come later as adrishta dukkam. So that will come which you do not know what it is. Something indirectly you've done and you think you did good, right, everything, but it actually was not the right thing to do. Something which, but you do not know about it because you're not the person who can decide this. The results of the action you can't decide. You can only execute the actions, correct? So ma paleshu kadachana. So you don't have a result, right over the results. You only have the result right over the action. So you do the action and you hope that is right. But if it doesn't come out right, then the results can also be negative. And the result of this called papam. So you have to undergo that. Right? So there's no nivarti for this. That is why he says here that the rajasic activity or this kind of activity will bring you dukkha. And tamasic activity will bring you dullness and ignorance. And such births, the people who have this kind of birth, rajasic and tamasic, they are born in the Muda Yonishu we saw before. So they are all they are born in the womb of people who don't have discriminative ability. They just don't know. See, you will be studying Shastram, right? You will go and talk to somebody. Right? See, don't just, I'm not interested. So they are not interested because that particular thing will not come then. So they are more assuming what they are not interested in this particular line of studies. They don't want to. They are interested in other things, laukika vishaya. See, for this particular thing to come, satvikam to come, it is something punyam they should have done. In the current janma, if they are not doing anything great, next janma also they will be like this. They will be born in a particular world which will be worse than what they are now. Because the whole of this lifestyle, you haven't done anything. So what is the guarantee that you will get results? See, it's like, if you're working for a company, you don't do anything at all. And you want a promotion. How will you get promotion? You cannot. Because the manager will say, what makes you deserve that you want promotion? What have you done? So, I come every day to the office. I've been here. So yes, you have come every day to the office, but nothing contributed. What have you learned anything from us? What is the benefit of giving you the job to you, a promotion to you? How are you going to justify? Same thing Bhagavan also is asking indirectly. He doesn't tell us. He just dumps you in some place. See, fortunately, you are not aware about it. It's a good thing. This is a fortune. So one may always ask, see, how do you guarantee that I'll be born in next Janma like this? Nobody can guarantee anything. If you want to try it out, you try it out. Because I will not be there to ask you. I will not be there to ask you. Neither you will also know me. I will not know you also. Because knowing is something different. At Atma level, we know everybody is same. But at the birth level, people come in different levels of, they get birth in different qualities. Like all of us here, why would we be studying this? So many people out there. But why some people are interested in studying, why not interested in studying? Even though they are available time, energy, money, everything is there, they are not interested. It's because they don't have discriminative capacity. So their birth is determined, their karyams are determined by the previous janma, how they are. So they will continue to be born in a family in this janma also, which will not let them progress further, and they will keep going down and down and further. Then they will eventually be born in a tamasic background, like an animal. Right? So there will be no activity will be there, nothing will be there. So that is why we should not be taking a chance. So some people say, I'll take a chance. It's okay. This life is for enjoyment. So they will take a chance. Bhagavan says, don't take a chance. So when you have the opportunity now, you get over it. Don't think there will be another chance, because nobody knows how the chance will be. Okay? That's what it says, Ajnanam here. Tamasik is Ajnanam here. Then he says, Sattva-guna. He further talks about here, Sattvat sanjayate jnanam, Sattvat sanjayate jnanam, Rajaso lobha evacha, Rajaso lobha evacha, Sattvat sanjayate jnanam, Rajaso lobha evacha, Pramada moho tamaso, Pramado moho tamaso, Bhavato jnanameva cha, Bhavato jnanameva cha, Sattva sanjayate jnanam, Rajaso lobha eva cha, Pramada moho tamaso, Bhavato jnanameva cha. So, Sattvat sanjayate jnanam. So, having Sattva guna, what does it do? The knowledge is born. Sanjayate. Sanjayate means born. And what is born? Jnanam is born. So Sattva guna always brings you jnanam. So it's better to have Sattva guna. So Sattvat Sanjayate jnanam. Then Rajaso, what does Rajas bring? Lobham, greed. So Rajas activity will always give you greed. They say greed means is not greedy. What it means? See, you are doing already very good. See, let us say that you are doing a very good, nice function. And you have done everything because you want to do perfectly. So you do everything nicely. Then what? Oh, in the function, next we should make it grand. So what do? You invite 100 people more there. So from the activity drives more activity. Is it correct? So supposing if you do an activity, if it doesn't do well, then what do? Sometimes you will scale down the activity, right? But if activity is successful, then activity drives success. Success breeds success. All paramedical, old. Success breeds success. So when your success means it actually breeds success. So greed breeds greed. So let's do more. Let's do this. Let's do this. So because for doing this you need energy. So Rajasic will always breed lobham. That's what it says here. Rajaso lobha evacha. So from Rajas, definitely greed comes into picture. So what he's trying to say is that from tomorrow don't say that I don't know Rajasic at all. No. Rajasic is important as well. But what he's saying is that try to develop the sattvic quality more and reduce the Rajasic activity. That is, the tiger, you see, if you go to a cage tiger, it will keep moving from one place to place. It can't sit in one place. It will go and sit in one place, again it will start moving around. It cannot. It is just the way it is. So avoid those things. And for avoiding that, your mind has to become calm. Only when the mind becomes calm, Rajasic activity will come down. If your mind is always busy, always occupied, then the activity also is driven. So it's case Rajaso lobha evacha. Then what does it bring? When you have Rajas, the results are pramado mohau. So pramada means here apathy. So apathy means helplessness. So you cannot do anything. You're helpless and choiceless. There's no other way because you do not know anything else. See, if I don't do this, I don't know what else I should do. Is it right? If I tell that, please not stop doing all these things and start studying Shastram, I don't know. I just can't stop doing this. They just cannot. There is no other way. Nanyapanta vidyate naya. So there is no other way. They do not know anything else other than this. So it brings you apathy, it brings you helplessness. So moha means it brings you delusion. So pramado means apathy, helplessness, and from helplessness it brings you delusion. So rajasic activity is being put down here because sattvic activity is being elevated. So Krishna does not criticize sattvic. He doesn't say that you must not have. What he's saying is that if you ask me the opinion, I would say that you develop sattvic activity. Very politically nice, he says. So if you want to raise this activity, then these things will happen like this. So you should. This is up to you, which path you want to take. So rajaso loba evacha, pramado moho, then tamasaha. So from tamas, what happens? What tamas being? Bhavataha ajnanam evacha. So ajnanam rises, or ajnanam means what? Ignorance, total ignorance. So when tamasic quality is there, supposing you are fast asleep in class, do you think jnana will come? Jnana will not come. Imagine a person consistently sleeps. Like sometimes in school you used to sleep. I think Suresh knows about it. Sleep means sometimes you just not do focus. Bored the topic, bored teacher. Sometimes you're not able to focus because whatever we can't understand what is going on. Sometimes we used to look outside because we used to be in school there. Very young kids at that time. Some cricket match is going on there. And from our school, there'll be one person asking score. So they'll put a board there, 26 for 1, Gavaskar out. So you tend to look out because the particular person teaching in the class is not that interesting. Or sometimes you're not able to connect. But when Tamil teacher teaches, when something comes, that out of the window it goes, and your focus is only on teaching that. So depending on what is interesting to you, your mind locks into there. Correct? So what it says here, when tamasic happens, it's our old school days. Suresh also know about it. So you're sitting behind me only, So in case of tamasic activity also, you don't feel like doing anything. You just are relaxed. And when you're relaxed, when you're not focusing, then ajnanam is definitely there. Jnana will not come at all to you. So rajasic, there is some jnanam there. Correct? But the jnanam is in terms of greed. So the knowledge is definitely there in terms of doing better and doing greater things, larger things, getting more results, successful, etc. But as a satvikam, it breeds success definitely, but satvikam is actually better of all these things. Why? Because satvikam definitely gives you knowledge about the right thing. So knowledge about the material objects is given by rajasic activity. And knowledge about the spiritual activity or the Paramatma or the Param Tattvam is given by sattvic activity. Tamasa does not give any knowledge at all. It just blocks you completely. So definitely tamasic should be avoided as far as possible or reduced. So you can't say avoid. Reduce the right word. Reduce the tamasic activity, reduce the rajasic activity, develop the sattvic activity. You got that? That is the order. So, as far as possible, try to minimize those activities. Because when you are restless only, then the mind will try to wander. So, he's going to elaborate further later on in So in the next verse, I'll just introduce the verse to you. Next class, I'll give you the meaning of that. So here it talks about the person who is abiding in Sattva Guna, what happens to them and where they are born, which loka they are born. So Urdhvam Gachanti Sattvas Tatha Madhye Tishtanti Rajasaha. Then Jaganya Guna Vrittis Tatha Ado Gachanti Tamasaha. So Ado Gachanti means Ado Gadi, can say. So when somebody asks Ado Gadi, no Ado Gadi, but Ado Gadi. Ado Gachanti. That means the gati of the person is not known. And where does it go? Ado Gachanti Tamasaha. So Urdham Gachanti. Urdham means going up. And Gachanti means the person who has got Sattva Guna goes up, higher up in the order. And Madhye Tishtanti Rajasa. So the Rajasic people stay in the middle, in the tier. So there's something called, first class, the second and middle class you got, and then you got lower class. There it is. You got 3-tier class. Now AC first class is there, 3-tier is there, then you got second class. So the class people are there. So if you have Sattvic Guna, you can travel first class. You can go to Indra Loka, enjoy there. And if you have a middle level there, medium, you can only have 3-tier. Other people will come and join you, disturb you, etc. You have there. And in second class, everybody is all free for all. Anybody can come and sit, anybody can push you around. So it is like this. So what it says here, that Jaganya Guna Vittistata. So they are born in different lokas, they are born in different capacities, depending upon their karmas, depending upon their gunas. Right? But what he says is a person who is tamasika cannot become sattvika straight away. So if you have a tamasic attitude all along, you cannot expect to be sattvika overnight. That's not possible. Because it just you will not be able to do that. Automatically, there are some people who, when they open when somebody talks about it, immediately TV bota somebody talks means they will sleep. Because tamasic guna is rising. So they cannot become satvikam because for you have to focus satvikam. Right? So, but from rajasikam one can become satvikam. It's possible to go from rajasikam to satvikam. It's possible. How? By what? Channeling the mind in the right direction. So instead of doing so many activities, the person is telling, why don't you do meditation? Why don't you sit in one place? Do this, do that, restrict activities. So the person can still channel them. Right? And slowly the person can be brought into Sattvikam Guna. Rajasic will still be there. He cannot just overnight also become. But there's a potential for the person to become Sattvika at some point of time. But the Tamasic Guna people, it will be impossible or difficult for them to even go to Rajasic because they have to get up and do something, right? Sometimes when you ask children do it, I'll do later. So they'll have the earbud on. So wireless things are there. You can't, even if you tell them, you don't understand anything. They are holed up in some place. You tell them, can you do something for me? You don't hear them. You have to go near them and talk to them and say, did you hear me? No, I didn't hear anything. Okay, can you do this for me? I'll do later. So because they are doing something else, they're busy there. So watching some movie or something or sleeping there. So later become later, later become later, later never comes. Eventually you end up doing that. So what it means, such people, when you want to do something, it will be a challenge for you to pull them around and do this. So tamasic people will be difficult to dislodge. It will be difficult to move around and get things done. Rajasic people can be molded to some extent. There's a chance. So he's going to talk about it elaborately as to what type of people are there, what type of quality you can see yourself, and what type of, when you have that quality, how you should move. Or it's like an alarm bell. See, when you have an alarm bell like this, so how do you rectify? So you do something different. Right? So that you remain focused for that particular time. That we'll discuss next class. Is it okay? Have you got any questions from today's class? Anyone has got anything to... Is it all clear? All clear. Very good. Okay. Radhaji, all okay?
Fine, Ji. But really, it will be difficult for Sattvic people to live along with the Tamasic people. Ji.
Like,
Just
Like, correct. See, Sattvic people also can't live with Rajasic people also. You know why?
These
Because
Rajasic people, they may be like, there is a tendency to go to the Sattvic Guna, but Tamasic people, what you say mean?
see, Sattvic person actually doesn't get along or generally tries to avoid people who are Rajasic and Tamasic. Generally speaking, because that Guna is actually something different.
Different.
A person is running around. Let us say that somebody is always auditor,
But if you happen to live with them, then that is the prarabdha karma then.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is like the person will find it difficult to adjust because he wants to study, he wants to sit and do some homework. Come and do this. Let's go to temple. Let's go this. Let's donate this. You're not interested, but you don't want to go. But he is pulling you along, correct? Then it becomes difficult. So when your Sattvic Guna is rising, you'll find a disconnect between these people. So it's not that you're avoiding them. The Guna will separate you.
Yes, true.
So you yourself feel that you are not fit for this kind of activities. You are not interested in this kind of activities. So you are not avoiding this person. See, you do not have a hatred for the person. It is just that they don't.
But we cannot get involved in all those activities.
They don't come into our category, and the particular lifestyle which you are following, they will not be able to align, and automatically the gap will be widened further and further. That's all it is. That is what Shastram does to you. Shastram will actually make you sometimes de-alienated. You will be completely be. Sometimes you'll feel that the family also tell I know what Vedantam does to you. Ask you why do you have to live like this? Why can't it be normal people? So normal people according to them is like just like everybody else is living there. But because this particular study makes you a bit different, like you are the same person, but your attitude now is different completely. You are more relaxed, you are more calm.
You are entirely in a different world now.
You are in a different world, and sometimes your thoughts don't align with what they're thinking and what they're doing. So sometimes you don't go along with them. That's all it is.
Yes, that's true.
So lengthy, if you are studying for 12, 14 years, then you are really useless for anything. Like you can't because you really you're in your own world, and people discount you. Your pretty much like a written off case. So forget about it. It's not possible to do that. So they will not come to you also. See, half the people don't come and talk to me because they don't even call me because they assume that I'll be in some class, and which is true.
So according to them, you are like a Tamasic Guna person, like ignorant of everything.
Correct. So they will not call me also, and it's good for me because that if I go there, I'll have to spend time. So in a way, this actually is a medicine for me. So the medicine actually keeps you away from all these sort of disturbances. So it'll all happen to you also. So I'm already sure it's happening to all of you to some extent. It will not be that great, but I'm sure it'll all be happening already, if not already.
Thank you.
Okay. So we'll stop the class here and we will continue next week.
Shankar, in verse 17, when you say apathy and delusion, is it to be included in Rajas or Tamas? Because as per the verse, it comes in the second line.
See, it actually in the Rajasic activity is included. Rajasic activity.
Okay.
Because the lobam will bring you the greed. See, the tamas will give you ajnana because it doesn't give you greed. Tamasic people are not interested in anything because they are not interested in anything at all. They're just not keen. But the Rajasic activity will give you more greed because, as I told you, actions will make you more action successful. So if you do 10 people today, right, and you did very well, you want to do it on a 50 people scale, then 50 will become 100. You want to become an institution, association. You want to become an empire. You want to become office everywhere. So because you want to be successful, that's why this activity will bring you more greed and success. That's what it says here. And when you go into the path, it will make you deluded. Delusion means it will give you imaginary view that this is what is the lifestyle. This is what is going to give you happiness. All of a sudden, this is all gone. Supposing. And then what will happen? You again come back to normal again. You become deluded. So you have been following something which is not the truth. That's what Rajasic people follow. And because they are the driver is for that, they have to be always doing things. They cannot remain idle. If they fail or not, they'll do something else. If not do this, will something else. Develop another company, another group. They'll keep doing something other. Because they are used to this kind of activity. They cannot just remain like this. That's why it says lobam. So pramada means, apathy means they are sometimes helpless. They're just choiceless because it is something they cannot avoid doing this. They have to do this. So they won't stop and look whether I can do it or not. This is like Duryodhana is actually apathy. Because he is driven by rajasic activity. He has to do things. He's not tamasic in nature. He's very activity oriented because he wants to capture, he wants to rule the world, he wants to prove dominance. So what does he do? He knows that it is actually not ethical for him to do this. He knows this. But he cannot restrain himself from doing anything because he's helpless. So that's apathy. So he's helpless, he's choiceless, and he's just sorry for it. He says, I'm very sorry, but I cannot do anything about it. And what does it do? Because he continues to, he's helpless, he goes further and further into this deep hole of creating adharma. And when you go into adharma, it becomes, that's what is the truth. He starts believing that is what is the only way to do that. So even somebody comes and tells him that this is not the right way to do it, he is not willing to accept it because he just cannot digest the fact that there's another way, because he has been born and trained and taught to look in that manner. So you just don't have choice. That's what apathy means here. Is it clear?
Yeah.
Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Harihi Om Tatsat. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Namaste and Shubhratri to all of you. Hari Om.